A few weeks ago, I was in Moab, Utah with my family for spring break, and I am the hiker in my family. My husband and my children are the mountain bikers, and they love to ride their bikes. And Moab is like the best place to go for spring break. I love Moab. Maybe we'll talk more about Moab in a future video. When we go mountain biking, usually what happens is we put all four bicycles in the back of our truck, and then I usually walk the dog and go on a hike with the dog while my husband and boys ride their bikes. And then when they're done riding, if they're not too tired or too hungry, then I go and ride my bike for a couple miles and call it good. Because to be quite honest, I used to really, really love mountain biking, but now I really like hiking, but I want to be better at mountain biking. But now my husband and my kids are way faster and way better at mountain biking than I am. And I have to walk my bike up all the hills, and it's a thing. So I'm trying to get better at mountain biking and to regain some of that confidence and also some of that skill that I used to have 14 years ago before I had children and pretty much stopped mountain biking. But anyway, so I do not feel very confident on my mountain bike lately. I think this is also a cancer thing. You know, after going through cancer treatment, sometimes I just feel a little bit breakable. I feel like a little scared, a little not so confident in this new body that I have. I don't go into full send mode like I used to. So we're at Moab. It's spring break. It's gorgeous outside. I just walked the dog. My husband comes riding in with the kids and he says, "Hey, you want to go for a ride? I'll just hang out here. We'll take a few laps with the boys and just go have fun riding." And I was like, okay. So I got on my bike and I'm trying to chase my 13-year-old and my 11-year-old up this rocky, steep trail. They said the trail was going to be easy, but it wasn't easy. It never is. So I'm chasing my children up this trail. They keep looking back like, "Come on, mom." But they're really nice about it. They stop at every trail intersection and they wait for me. And I noticed that my 13-year-old is being super encouraging and super supportive of me. And I'm feeling like I'm too slow, like I'm letting him down because I'm not riding fast enough. I'm a little embarrassed at how many times I have to dismount my bike and walk because of the rocks or because things just get too steep and too gnarly. Anyway, it's a thing. So my 13-year-old who's on the mountain bike team decided he wanted to help me with some skills and help me develop some more confidence on my bike. So he did the coolest thing. He got off of his bike and there was a big pile of rocks in the middle of like on the trail. You know, the trails are very rocky around Moab. So there's like this pile of rocks and I'm a few feet away from him and he stands on top of this pile of rocks and he says, "Okay, mom, what I want you to do is get on your bike. I want you just to look at me. Don't look down at your feet. I want you to look at me and just pedal, pedal, pedal over that pile of rocks. I know you can do it." And I was like, okay, I guess the student has become the teacher at this point. And so I look at my kid. He is to support me. And what a nice child he is to be my cheerleader on this trail. So I get on my bike and I start pedaling. And I'm pedaling as fast as I can. And my child is standing on this pile of rocks and he's like, "Look at me, mom. Look at me. You can do it, mom." So I'm looking at my kid and I'm pedaling and I'm not feeling like I'm going to make it over the rocks. I'm starting to get a little scared and I'm getting a little nervous, but I'm like, no, he thinks I can do it. So I keep looking at my kid and I'm doing it. I'm starting to ride over the rocks. My kid pops off the trail before I can run him over. And I did it. I rode my bike over this gigantic pile of rocks that I didn't think I was capable of doing. I learned a really important lesson from my kid as we were mountain biking. All I really needed was someone to remind me to look up and not look down at my feet, but to look up at the trail ahead of myself and then to just keep on pedaling. Right now at Hike Like a Woman, I'm getting ready to launch 3 trips for 2026. We are going to be headed to Scotland to do the West Highland Way, which is a 100-mile trek across Scotland. We are headed to Europe to do an abbreviated version of the Tour de Mont Blanc. So instead of doing the full 100 miles, we're going to be doing a 62-mile trek in 6 days. And then we're headed back to Mount Kilimanjaro in 2026. So that will be 3 consecutive years of climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. And as I'm getting ready to launch these trips, they're a little bit different than the trips we've done in the past. A lot of the trips we've done in the past have been van tours with some day hikes, not a lot of expedition style hikes except for Kilimanjaro and the Salkantay Trail. Something I really want to change here at Hike Like a Woman is I want to offer more of those expedition or multi-day trekking style trips, because I think there's something really important about stepping outside of our comfort zones and then pushing our bodies beyond what we think we're capable of doing. One thing that I love about Hike Like a Woman and that I love about leading these trips is helping women just experience that joy that comes when they do something that they don't think they can do, much like my son did with me when we were mountain biking in Moab just a few weeks ago. So if you want to learn more about the trips that we're getting ready to launch for the 2026 summer season, head on over to our website, hikelikeawoman.com. And if you feel like you have an adventure in you this year in 2025, Costa Rica's booked, Southern Utah is booked, but we do have openings for our Kilimanjaro climb this August, and there is time to get ready. And we're headed to Patagonia in October. So hikelikewoman.com is where you can find me. Today's video is not about gear, but it's just a story that I wanted to share with you and then let you know that we are opening up booking for our trips, especially Tour de Mont Blanc. Booking for that opens on April 10th. So if you're watching this before April 10th and you want to do the abbreviated Tour de Mont Blanc with me, head on over hikelikewoman.com. Thanks so much. Now go check out this video because YouTube thinks you're going to like it.